Donald Trump is growing increasingly paranoid that there could be a mole inside of Mar-a-Lago. And he's probably right, because all of the reports right now do seem to indicate that the FBI, the feds, DOJ, whatever it was, were tipped off by somebody with knowledge of what's happening inside of Mar-a-Lago. So this could be a visitor, somebody that makes frequent trips there, which at that point could be any Republican because they all come down there. Or it could be a staffer. It could be a regular Mar-a-Lago employee. It could be one of Donald Trump's advisors, the members of his Office of the 45th President staff. Who knows? Donald Trump certainly doesn't, and that is what is freaking him out. And according to a new report from Rolling Stone, Donald Trump has actually been fairly paranoid that somebody at Mar-a-Lago could be wearing a wire. But here's the interesting part. His fear that somebody at Mar-a-Lago could be wearing a wire and talking to the feds didn't just pop up this week. Apparently, it's something that Donald Trump has been talking about since about May of this year. Donald Trump has expressed his concern that maybe somebody's wearing a wire. He's been talking to other staff members, obviously a lot more in the last week. Can I trust this person? What do you think of this individual? Staffers, of course, are coming up to him, telling him, be suspicious of this guy. It is a complete crap show right now with what is happening in Mar-a-Lago. Everybody's turning against each other, wondering who this mole or informant could possibly be. But again, what's more interesting is the fact that Donald Trump has been worried about somebody infiltrating them for months, right? Long before the FBI even knocked on their door, Donald Trump was worried that somebody could be wearing a wire, or also that maybe his phones were tapped. So that only makes this a little more confusing, right? You should have had no reason to fear that somebody's listening in or that somebody's recording your conversations prior to the FBI showing up. At that point, of course, oh my God, somebody was doing this. Why were you concerned about it before that? What were you doing at Mar-a-Lago? What were you hiding? What were you showing off to people? Because according to individuals that have been down there, Donald Trump does love to show off what they call mementos that he took from the White House. So what was going on that made you concerned that somebody was already talking to the feds, right? That to me is the bigger question. And of course, we do not have an answer to that. But maybe it's innocuous enough, right? We know that Donald Trump has always been a paranoid person. He was paranoid, according to everybody that worked with him in the White House, when he was in the White House. Always thought somebody was leaking, because somebody always was leaking. Always thought that maybe somebody had turned against him, wondering constantly, can I trust these people or not? But that also goes back to Donald Trump's claim of only hiring the best people, right? Well, clearly not. If you're having to ask everybody else that works for you if you can trust certain individuals, clearly you're not doing a good job picking people to work for you. Maybe do a little bit more vetting. But whatever happens, we pretty much have, I don't want to say confirmation, but we have strong evidence that the call did come from inside Mar-a-Lago to tip off the feds that something unsavory was happening. And Donald Trump is going to continue freaking out until they find out who that individual is.
This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.